Hello pilgrims, it's Anne here. I'm back on the riverbank path, only amongst the trees because it was a bit too noisy and windy out there by the river, so I've come into the trees. I hope you're all well. The topic for this thought for the day or video is I'd like to explore the subject of pilgrimage and pilgrim. And the word pilgrimage comes from the Latin per, meaning through, and ager, meaning field, land, country. And the pilgrim traditionally has been somebody who's on a journey. It might be somebody who's a foreigner, it might be somebody who is a temporary resident. Now in fact we're all temporary residents here on earth with a spiritual home a bit later on in heaven. And traditionally, you think about the Canterbury Tales, Chaucer's Canterbury Tales, pilgrimage has been a journey on foot to a sacred site. But it doesn't have to be on foot. Supposing somebody can't walk, the distance, it could actually be a pilgrimage by bicycle or by public transport or a donkey. It could be an inner journey. It could be going to a place of retreat. It could be life itself. Life itself is a pilgrimage. It's a journey. It's a journey with a purpose. That's what a pilgrimage is, a journey with a purpose. So it might be to a sacred city like Canterbury, Winchester, Glastonbury, York, Whitby, or further afield, Rome, Istanbul, Jerusalem, Mecca. It could be a place of nature like an island, Iona or Lindisfarne, or a mountain, Mount Kailash, Mount Snowdon, or the overnight trek up Mount Sinai or Sri Pada in Sri Lanka in order to see sunrise in the morning, or it might be to the Ganges, all sorts of places. But it doesn't even have to be there. It could be one of our inner spiritual journeys. It could be our daily nature walk, and you go out and daily you see changing weather or the tides or the shapes of the clouds, or you look at the frozen spider's web with all its patterns sparkling in the sunshine, or the icy patterns in a frozen puddle. So when does a pilgrimage take place? Holy Week, August. It could take place any time. It could be that daily walk. It could be a time when there's a change of life circumstances and we're exploring which way to go. Something good might have happened, something bad. We might have had to say goodbye to somebody we love. We might have said hello to new children. So change of circumstances. Or, somebody might have retired or graduated and they don't quite know which way to go next. Or, there's just something has happened in life and just need to know what the next step is. A few years ago I couldn't walk. I had this foot problem, and but strangely enough I could still cycle. So I thought, well, this is the opportunity to finish cycling Land's End to John O'Groats. I've done the first half and right, okay, do the Scotland bit now. And so packed all my camping gear, and there I am, north coast of Scotland, and two young men from Italy come poddling on with them on their little Vespa scooters with a handwritten sign on the back saying Rome to Loch Ness. So we're at the top of Dunnet, which is a little headland not that far from Land's End, and I'm taking their photographs for them. I say, well, it says Loch Ness, this isn't Loch Ness. No, they said, because everybody's heard of Loch Ness, but they haven't all heard of Dunnet, and we want to go to Dunnet. This is our pilgrimage, because it's the most northerly point of mainland Britain. So yeah, got a point there. And so this became a bit of a mantra for me afterwards, and I believe that every pilgrimage should have some sort of mantra or prayer. So I carried on the short distance onto John O'Groats, going, well, you haven't done it till you've done it. So it could be an inner journey. Like we're wondering, where is home? Where are we going? What's next in life? And in my late 20s, I had a very traumatic experience, which left me feeling frightened, was one of those footprints moments. And I thought, well, rather than slide into depression, not knowing which way to go next, I thought I'll go and do an overseas trip. So I got on the train. I wanted new memories to supersede the traumatic ones. So I got on the train. It took me to a country in Eastern Europe when it was still under communism, and I worked on the land in the mountains for 2 weeks. I met some lovely people, and after that caught the train down to Istanbul, visited the famous sacred sites there, and then went on to central Anatolia. I joined a group on an archaeological dig in central Anatolia. This village hadn't changed since biblical days. The animals still slept in the hay in the bottom of the buildings, and the people lived upstairs. And we, the group, we did indoor camping in the little local school on the floor. And every morning along the dusty track, all the goats would be herded, and down the centre of the village, and everybody going, "Merhaba, merhaba, good morning, hello." It was wonderful. And while we were there, we were invited to a small child's circumcision party, which was another story. But again, it felt very biblical. And afterwards, we took an overnight bus to Ephesus. They say Ephesus, we say Ephesus, where St. Paul wrote his letter to the Ephesians. And I particularly wanted to read St. Paul's letter to the Ephesians at Ephesus, because a few years before that I'd been to Corinth and I'd sat in the amphitheatre and read out loud St. Paul's letter to the Corinthians, so I thought it was a significant balance. Anyway, so read St. Paul's letter to the Ephesians in Ephesus, and just a short distance down the road, about 7 miles away, is a place called Mariamana. Top of a dry, dusty hill was this little stone building, about 2,000 years old. It's reputed to be the final home of Mary, Jesus' mother, and it's a site of sacred pilgrimage. There are lots of people there, and I got friendly with a nice little Turkish family. They didn't speak any languages I know, and I didn't speak Turkish, but we got on well, and I hitchhiked with them for a couple of days, and we camped while camping in fields and a beach and all sorts. It was lovely. Right, so Mary, Jesus' mother. Imagine Jesus is on the cross. He's in absolute agony, mental agony, physical agony. He's dying, he's humiliated. He might even be feeling as though all his good works have come to nothing. Imagine Mary, his mum. And Jesus spots his mum standing there, keeping him company as he's dying. She's standing there watching her wonderful, lovely young son dying a horrific death. She's keeping him company in his last moments. And he sees her there, and even though he's dying, he still cares about what's going to happen to her when he's no longer around. So, John 19:26 verses 27. When Jesus saw his mother there, and the disciple whom he loved standing nearby, he said to his mother, "Here's your son," and to the disciple, "Here's your mother." From that time on, the disciple took her into his home. So Jesus entrusts his mum's safety and well-being to his best friend. I've done other solo pilgrimages, walking, cycling, and you've done solo pilgrimages too. You might be on one now. You might be recovering from the COVID after effects, or some other illness, or maybe you've undergone change of circumstances and change of lifestyle. And we all need strength and resilience to keep on keeping on. Now, I like the imagery of the protective gear as we fight the good fight and labour night and day to be a pilgrim. So this is Ephesians chapter 6, verses 14 to 18. St. Paul's letter to the Ephesians. Stand firm then, with the belt of truth buckled around your waist, with the breastplate of righteousness in place, and with your feet fitted with the gospel of peace as a firm footing. In addition to all of this, take up the shield of faith, with which you can extinguish all the flaming arrows of the evil one. Take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of God, and pray in the Spirit on all occasions, with all kinds of prayers and requests. You know that moment when a prayer has been answered? I think I'll use that for next little video. Now, in my previous message, I inadvertently wished you all a happy Christmas before saying happy Easter. So this time I'm going to wish you all happy birthday, because everybody has a birthday every year. So happy birthday and happy Easter. Stay well, keep plodding on and enjoy the love and blessings of God our Lord. Look forward to seeing you all.